Sophisticated software. Advanced hardware. Always ready.
For this issue of Defence Watch, we follow a pair of mysterious and silent hunters as they take out unsuspecting prey. But before that, let's join Kyong in Exercise Garuda, an air combat and air defence exercise in France, as he shows us how the RSAF ground support crew plays a crucial role in keeping the RSAF's fighter jets flying high.
6 of the RSAF's F-16D Plus fighters recently took part in an air defense and air combat exercise in France and flew with the French Mirage 2000 and Rafale fighters, as well as the Indian Sukhoi 30 fighters. This is Orange Air Base in southern France. The RSAF has flown close to 11,500 kilometers in order to exercise with the Indian and French Air Force here. This is Exercise Garuda. 2 RSAF KC-135R tankers provided air-to-air refueling for the F-16D Plus fighters during the journey. 180 RSAF personnel stopped over in countries such as India and Qatar before landing in France. While all eyes were on the advanced fighter jets, I took the opportunity to visit another group of RSAF professionals deployed on Orange Air Base, the ground support crew. From the very first takeoff to the last sortie of the day, the ground support crew make sure that every aircraft is fit to fly. Airframe, engines, avionics and assorted components are checked for airworthiness.
Basically, when we come down to the flight line, the first thing we look is for any defects in the aircraft, structural defects that we can find. This is especially true in the wheel well, where there are lots of pipelines and so forth that we have to look out for in case it tangles up the wheel when it comes down.
While powerful, the F-16s are also delicate machines that need special attention, right down to the minute details. Here, we see the crew combing the ground for any small foreign object and debris that could be sucked in by the aircraft, damaging the engine. On Orange Air Base, I felt the slow, roasting heat of the sun, with winds blowing at 70 to 80 kilometers per hour.
Here we are working out in an open concept on a flight line concept. We are experiencing a little bit of strong winds and also the heat. It's unlike what we have back home. So basically what we could do is limit our exposure to the sun and drink a lot of water.
The quick turnaround of aircraft is critical to any air mission, so things need to be done fast. I was told that yes, things need to be done fast, but they also must be done properly.
Each servicing process, each maintenance task is already spelled out in our job guide, in our technical orders. There's a step-by-step checks, and of course we get the help of our supervisors who are around on the flight line.
Working together under rigorous conditions and tight deadlines, the ground support crew instinctively learn to look out for one another.
We do tell each other to look out for our hands, where you put your hands, especially when you're lifting heavy objects, and try to keep away from the dangerous spots on the aircraft. These are emphasized daily, so it's sort of our second nature.
While the pilots behind the F-16s have benefited from Exercise Garuda, they tell me that it was the professionalism of the ground support crew that played a critical role in keeping them flying high.
I think it's an excellent job put up by the ground support crew. The worthiness of the aircraft is excellent, and we do not have any problem with any of the aircraft during the whole trip to France.
At the end of the day, when we see the pilot shows a thumbs up to us saying that the aircraft is good, we know that we have done our job to the best of our abilities, and it gives me a good sense of accomplishment, knowing that the pilot can step up to the aircraft without worry and they can concentrate on their mission.
Don't forget to tune into Power 98 for the latest in music, entertainment and sports news. Join me every Thursday at 7 p.m. with DJ in Command Sebastian on Own Time, Own Target, as we have some behind-the-scenes talk on some of the videos you see on this program. Now let's check in with Dion on some of the events that took place recently.
Thanks, Cayenne. We joined the guests at the recent MINDEF Volunteers Dinner and the Total Defence Award Ceremony 2010. We'll have more on those stories later. First, let's catch the RSN's Formidable class frigate, the RSS Supreme, in a recent naval exercise off the coast of Hawaii. The RSN's Formidable class frigate, RSS Supreme, recently took part in the multilateral Rim of the Pacific, or RIMPAC, naval exercise conducted off the coast of Hawaii. This is the second time the RSN is involved in this exercise hosted by the United States Navy. RSS Supreme took part in maritime operations such as combined anti-submarine and air defense missions alongside more than 30 ships, 5 submarines, 150 aircraft and 20,000 personnel from 13 countries. It also successfully carried out an Aster surface-to-air missile live firing on 14 July 2010. More than 200 volunteers who served in MINDEF's boards and committees over the past year were recognized in a dinner hosted by Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Defence Chee Hien at the Regent Hotel on 21st July. Experts from their own fields, these volunteers from both the private and public sector help keep MINDEF abreast of corporate best practices and strengthen the link between MINDEF and the public to promote defence awareness. Close to 400 employers and civil resource owners received the Total Defence Award at a presentation ceremony held at the Suntec-Singapore International Convention and Exhibition Centre on 28 July. 10 of them received the prestigious Minister for Defence Award. This is the highest award for employers who have gone the extra mile to support their employees in fulfilling their national service commitments, as well as civil resource owners who have made their vehicles, equipment and other resources available to the SAF for resource requisition exercises. Colonel General Nguyen Khac Nghien, Chief of General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army and Vice Minister of National Defence, called on Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Defence Chee Hien at MINDEF. The visit underscores the warm and growing bilateral defence relations between Singapore and Vietnam.
Masters of stealth and camouflage, the SAF snipers are trained to take out key enemy targets with one shot. I trailed them on one of their recent training exercises.
Roger.
Two tangos, our 12 o'clock. At a balcony, second level, 200 meters away.
2 tangos seen. Affirmative.
Two styles. One style here. Good shot.
That one shot does more than kill one person. It strikes fear and uncertainty straight into the enemy's heart, stopping them from advancing. For that one single bullet to hit its mark comes hours of preparation. Their mission is always aimed at taking out key enemy targets. Contrary to what you might think, snipers don't work alone. They operate as a pair.
Support each other in every way, in like observation, engagement of target, and especially security and protection.
We are the only ones that can to rely on in the battlefield and to keep our spirits up.
We also need to have mutual trust between each other.
Adding on to that mutual trust is a wealth of skills, crucial to the success and survival of a sniper. It all begins with their skill in navigation. As snipers, their job calls for them to go up close to the enemy. But they must do so quietly, avoiding using air, land or sea-based transport. As they approach the enemy, they have to blend into the surroundings.
Well, this is a ghillie suit. As you can see, it acts as a camouflage so that we can break our shape to the natural surroundings, and it helps us avoid being detected by enemies while we are observing and firing.
Another skill they are equipped with is how to move when close to the enemy. With nightfall comes the cover of darkness. This next part is crucial, choosing of the best spot for sniping. To do this well, they need to know the tricks of concealment. This is the sniper height.
Basically, there are three main factors in constructing this sniper height. It's the screen, depth and shadow. The screen is to prevent enemy detection, and the depth is to absorb the muzzle flash, so it's best that we shoot behind the screen from 5 to 6 meters. And the shadow is to provide darkness so that we won't be easily seen.
Hello 00, this is 10 Alpha. Zing now, over.
And in this sniper height they stay until first light, when the most important skill comes into play: accuracy.
Target hit. Good shot.
Warfare is now moving into towns and cities. Hence, snipers today have to operate in many different terrains. One scenario might see them in the forested areas, shooting into built-up areas. But there is another challenging scenario, which sees them operating in urban areas. One such challenge: closely packed buildings reduce field of vision from below, while being on high ground makes them conspicuous targets. Hence, there must be a good balance when picking a sniping spot. Plus, it's now harder to hide.
In a conventional setting, we have a lot of natural camouflage and concealment to build a very good sniper position, whereas in a built-up area, we have to use a lot of improvised material such as this table and cupboard, whatever we can find in the building to construct our firing position.
During the stakeout, the snipers utilize their skills of observation. At the start, they put pen to paper and map out what they see. It's a game of spot the difference. At any one time, if what they see differs from what they drew, something is amiss. The men are also trained in judging distance, a skill which helps the snipers judge how far the enemy is. This information is crucial when calibrating the sniper weapon. While both are trained in sniping skills, they have different roles to play.
As a number 2 sniper, my role is to be spotter. Later on, before he fires, I have to check the surrounding before giving the go as to when to fire. Immediately after he fires, I have to check where his shot lands and correct him if he misses.
Whether it's a training exercise such as this one or in battle, their motto is always one shot, one kill. That's why snipers are feared. With just 2 men, they're capable of taking out critical enemy targets, and as a result, restrict enemy advances. That's the end of this issue of Defence Watch. If you have any story suggestions on what you want us to feature on this program, drop us a mail at defencewatch@starnet.gov.sg. You can also visit mindef.gov.sg for the latest news or go to youtube.com/cyberpioneertv for more defense videos. And before we end, we're going to show you a trailer of Every Singaporean Son, a really popular series of 15 recruits going through basic military training, an exclusive series on Cyber Pioneer TV that you can visit online. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next month.
Trust no one but yourself. Just trust everyone, die together. We already standard together.